Absolutely.
It's going to be a fun match.
Yeah, and Sloaters just recently got the 43 in old rod any percent, so real excited to watch this. And Balthazar, our wonderful tracker, getting rid of the little high message that he was having a little fun with early on. Shout out to Balthazar for tracking for us. Always need those trackers.
That's high for high jump boots, right?
Well, with you here, of course. Of course, we may see. Let's see. We actually have. Let's see. Sloaters has chosen column 3 for Feral, so we will see some skipping of high jump boots. And Feral has chosen row 1 for Sloaters. So let's take a look at what those are. Okay, so row 1, which is what Sloaters will have to do, will have to finish in a Shine Spark or a Crystal Flash. You will have to get the Brinstar map station, which is only a matter of remembering it, and if you don't remember it, then it becomes a problem. A whole lot of collection with 30 plus super missiles and 125 plus missiles, and defeat Ridley. Feral, on the other hand, will have to collect 30 plus super missiles as well. He'll have to collect all 15 of the wrecked ship missiles, he'll have to get Ice Beam, he'll have to skip those high jump boots, and he'll either have to collect Plasma Beam or defeat Ridley.
Yeah, there's several options on here that aren't super fun. I think both of them selected pretty solidly. It's going to be interesting to see what they decide to pair.
Always that 125 missiles is always a nasty one. I feel like 100 missiles isn't even that bad, but when you add those extra 5 packs, it just gets that much more difficult.
Yeah, I agree. It does make it more interesting. That happened to me when I got assigned 125. Usually when you get 125, you have to start going and purposely trying to get missiles in Meridia. Whereas if you only get 100, you don't necessarily have to factor that in. So it just kind of depends on what else you're asked to do. But yeah, there's a lot of collection going to be happening here pretty soon.
Yep, a lot of those fanfares.
So I guess if we're talking about it from a strategic point of view, Sloaters has to do row 1. If I'm in his position, I'm immediately looking at the rest of the card to see if anything else has Ridley on it. And it does look like we have at least 2 that do have Ridley. That would be column 3, which I doubt Sloaters would do because you don't typically choose to do something you assign.
No, pretty much. Yeah, not often.
But row 2 also includes it. And to be honest, I don't really think row 2 is that bad to go along with row 1, even though you're having to do 10 things instead of 9. Everything kind of lines up.
Yeah, the 35 plus power bombs would be the most annoying one there, but when you're already going down to defeat Ridley, there's usually the power bombs you want to skip in those situations are down lower Norfair. Well, you're already going there, so it's not quite as big a deal. And if you're defeating Crocomire, you got power bombs right there, so there's certain merit to that.
Yeah, and then row 2 includes defeat Crocomire and Ridley, which means column 2 does as well. I would not recommend column 2 at all, mainly because of the collect all 5 Brinstar energy tanks. That one's a lot slower than people realize. Even though it does line up with the 100 missiles, the Brinstar energy tanks alone make it at least a little bit slower.
Well, and it forces you to get speed booster, and also as does the Norfair. The Norfair reserve tank. Or wreck ship. I guess the Norfair reserve tank is easy. It's the wreck ship reserve tank. So the ore there kind of fooled me for a second. But yeah, anytime you have to get speed booster, that usually means you're going to want to go down first, in my opinion. Whereas if you don't need to get speed booster, I think you have a little bit more leeway as to which way you're going to choose to go.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would personally do row 2 over column 2, but then again, you just never know. Everybody's different.
I'm looking at the top left, bottom right diagonal. 3 reserve tanks is a little annoying, but you could skip the one in the wrecked ship if you want and get the one in Meridia instead. The other 2 are pretty free, so that might be a possibility. Ice Beam is easy enough to get, and you're already defeating Ridley, so it's just Crocomire.
Yeah, the main thing I think for Feral, who was assigned column 3, is the skip high jump boots. I've talked about this extensively on all my commentaries. Skipping high jump boots is not some end all be all that totally and completely wrecks every single person. I mean, Feral has run low percent, and he's familiar with playing the game without high jump boots. But it does make you think a lot more on the fly, and it does have a lot of rooms that are much slower.
Yep.
So depending on what he wants to, do in addition to column 3, I do think that skip high jump boots is going to eat up some time over the course of the run.
Yeah, and we've seen several matches where people have had to skip high jump boost and they get over to red tower without an ice beam and either realize they need that ice beam and go back for it, have to do a really tricky shine spark to get back up. So we've seen that a few times.
Yeah, I agree. So, well, yeah, I'm curious to see how Sloaters ends up routing in these 125 missiles.
Yep. And the question in chat, do you absolutely need Meridia for 125? No, you do not absolutely. There are 40 missiles in Meridia, and there's 230 in the entire game. But a lot of those Meridia missiles are going to be easier, especially if you want to get that gravity suit. A lot of those Meridia missiles will be easier to route in than a lot of the more out-of-the-way missiles in other locations.
So yeah, Pharaoh just got done grabbing the Terminator tank, and he is doing what I assumed he would do, which he is killing the pirates, which indicates to me that he's going to be heading to wreck ship first. Sloaters is now grabbing his energy tank. Let's see what he chooses to do here.
Yeah, in Farrell's case, he has to get all 15 wreck ship missiles. It makes a lot of sense for him to go up first. Sloaters, he kind of has choices. He doesn't. There's nothing in his row that forces him to get gravity suit. Although again, those 125 missiles, he might choose to go up just to have more options in Meridia. But he could choose to just get Varia suit. He's more than capable of doing a lava dive down to lower Norfair and handling himself down there with just the Varia suit. So we'll see what he chooses to do.
Yeah, I'm a little intrigued by what he just did right there. He ran into the first pirate and then he killed the rest. So it's like a hybrid method. I don't know if that means he's going to he protected enough of his health to not have to worry about it, or so he's going to go up to Fantoon, or if he's just deciding that he had enough missiles to move slower through the room. So it looks like he's doubling back to grab this reserve tank and probably these missiles.
Yeah, and he's been, like I said, he's been working a lot on old route any percent. So he may start with a muscle memory of using the missiles, and then realized, oh wait, I want to go up.
Right.
And changed his mind at that point.
It is faster technically, and we're talking here like I think people blow this out of proportion. Like, it's frames faster to just shoot them, but you never would shoot them like that if you didn't have an extra pack. So since Sloaters had the extra pack, that's probably part of the reason he did that.
Oh, and Farrell going to Spore Spawn, so he might be. I wonder if that's. Let's see, Spore Spawn could be column 1, or could be row 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way that he would go to Spore Spawn unless he's planning to include that.
No, absolutely not.
So I would.
Hmm.
This has got to be column 1. There's no, I just can't imagine that he would purposely choose row 4. Well, we'll see. You never know.
Yeah, column 1 doesn't look too bad. Finishing a Shine Spark or Crystal Flash just means finding the right spot for it or damaging yourself down. Collect only 1 ISIS speed is not bad. 3 energy tanks and 30 missiles. It's almost hard not to pick that much up. And of course, you have to, in a normal run, you have to pick up 3 energy tanks. And probably the hardest part might be routing in that Criteria Meridia elevator. But he's going to be at the wreck ship, so maybe he'll just go hit it right there after he hits wreck ship.
Oh, actually, now that I think about it, this is a bit of a problem because wait. What did we decide he was going to do?
Well, we were thinking column 1. It could still be row 4.
I don't think he can do column 1. I think he literally cannot because he has to do column 3, right?
Right.
So he's got to collect Ice Beam. So if he was trying to do column 1, he would be forced to skip Speed Booster, and therefore he wouldn't be able to finish in a Shine Spark. I guess he can do it with the Crystal Flash.
He'd have to do it with the Crystal Flash.
But we've only seen one runner do that, and a lot of people don't typically opt to, but you never know. I mean, I wouldn't personally want to. Well, I think it'd be hard to route that in on purpose, but I guess he could do it, yeah.
Yeah, he'd also have to make sure he picks up those extra power bombs too, because really he doesn't need to pick up more than 1 pack. There's nothing in his forced column that makes him get more than that. So that's an interesting choice if that is his choice.
Either way, my assumption is that both runners know already exactly what they want to do, and now they're just sort of committing to it. So it's kind of fun to see it play out over the course of the beginning of the run. These moments in the first 10 minutes are usually pretty interesting because they're thinking a lot about what they want to do.
Sloater's going back for the map station. Oh no, that's a save. I think he's trying to go to the map station, just went to the wrong one. There we go. There's the map station.
Luckily, he's got plenty of missiles. He is going to have to kill everything and then open this door, but he won't want to open the door until on the way out because that creature right there is at the very, very tail end of the room.
Yeah, this room is a little infamous in terms of randomizer because a lot of us have made the mistake of going in this one instead of the save room, and if you don't have any kind of bombs or power bombs, you can't get out.
Yeah, Farrell going up here, you could tell immediately because he actually jumped through that door transition. So I assume that he is trying to only collect gravity suit, which I think is a good call.
That makes sense. He'll get his he'll get his wreck ship missiles, he'll get his gravity suit, and then he can choose what to do next. And he can get the 2 super packs up there, so that'll get him. He'll be halfway. Actually, that'll get him 2/3 of the way to his super missile since he killed Spore Spawn. And got. I assume he picked up those supers. Yeah, I feel like Sloaters is a little bit behind here. I think all those extra missile pickups are slowing him down quite a bit. It's always the nasty that 125 is just not a lot of fun. And you can see Farrell they were going for the beta power bombs, and like I said, he doesn't need power bombs for anything on his card unless he is doing that crystal flash. You'll need 15. Technically, you only need 11, of course, but it's kind of hard to collect just one power bomb. I've heard that if you're really lucky with drops, there is a way to do it with 10, but I've never seen that successfully done. So.
Yeah, it's not something you would probably want to try in a race. But
not at all.
One interesting thing is Farrell opted to, and I promise you this was done on purpose. People don't typically forget this, or at least he wouldn't be in a new route runner. He did not open the power bomb door at the bottom of the red tower room. And so I think what that is basically implying is that when he is done with Wreck Ship, he's going to run straight across the surface and go back down to Brinstar, probably, I would imagine, to continue his super missile collection.
And it looks like he's going to take a detour to get criteria power bombs to get those 15 that we talked about. We'll have to do an IBJ here.
See, this is interesting.
Yeah,
I wonder why he's choosing to get these.
I feel like there are better power bombs to get if you're only getting one more pack.
Well, I think this is a really slow. Well, let me rephrase. I don't think it's like super slow, but it's not the best if all you're trying to do is just secure one pack. Now, if he is trying to get the criteria power bomb square for some reason, then
is that on here?
Then that's different. Yeah, it's at the bottom.
Oh, it is here. Yeah, but it's nowhere near.
Yeah, I can't imagine why he would want that. The only other way I can imagine it. Oh, whoa, Sloaters, be careful, buddy. The only other way I can imagine would be like if he just killed Spore Spawn for the supers, but surely that's not what happened.
He knows how to. Surely he knows how to backdoor Spore Spawn. That makes no sense. It could be an indication of him changing his mind over what he's doing.
Yeah,
but
well,
I can't imagine.
I like the refill here.
Yeah, I do too.
Sloaters is gonna have to do it too. I would not head over to Wreck Ship with this.
No,
situation.
not at all.
Well, you literally can't. He doesn't have any supers, so Sloaters literally has to go get supers to even be able to get into Wreck Ship.
But yeah, looking at the column and row that goes with the criteria power bombs, the row 5 would include 100+ missiles. I can't imagine he'd want to do that. And the column 4 is the 125 missiles. So I don't think he's picking up those criteria power bombs to fill in a square. I think that was just his choice of third power bomb pack.
Yeah, probably so. And now we have everybody's favorite room in the game, the moat.
Sloater's also looking like he's going for those criteria power bombs. Now he might be going for column 4 because he already has to do the worst square on that.
Very nice double bomb jump there by Sloaters. That saved him a little time over Farah, who did single. But I will say that I have seen more people go for double and miss than I have actually succeed. So I'm always hesitant to criticize a runner for using a single. In fact, I do it quite often in certain situations.
Okay. Farrell picking up his first pack of missiles in the wreck ship, smartly doing it before killing Fantoon, because it's the one item you can pick up ahead of time. That room is very scary. It's kind of Spiky Room of Death Part 2 if with things activated.
So yeah, I guess Sloters is going to take the Criteria Meridia elevator after grabbing the gravity suit, and he's going to try to go with row 5 here.
Okay, Farrell and his Fantoon fight. Still a very scary fight. One E-tank and no suits. Farrell, of course, a new route runner, is very well versed in doing this fight. Doesn't make it any easier or any less scary, in my opinion.
Yeah, Farrell showing us. Farrell's one of the best out there at doing air Dopplers.
Yeah, showing us
He
how it's
got a
done.
nice one in right there. Yeah, that was good. And then Sloter's grabbing this missile pack over here, which I think is a good.
Yeah, I think that's the only missile pack Sloaters will pick up in the wreck ship. The other two, I think, are a little too far out of the way. Although maybe the one near gravity isn't too bad. I certainly don't expect him to go to the one at the attic. That one's just such an annoying spot. Whereas Farrell, of course, has to pick up all 3 because that's one of his requirements. Okay, Slaughter's now going in for his Fantoon fight. Slaughter's also runs new route. He's been working really hard on old route of late, but he's more than capable of doing both.
Yeah, Sloters is one of, in terms of all the runners in this particular tournament, he is one of the top, easily top 2, if not the best, in terms of being most well-rounded across the speedrun categories.
I would agree.
So I don't really think there's anything in here that, scares him, if that makes sense. I think he's perfectly capable of handling all these situations.
Absolutely. Yep, and Farrell picking up both super missile packs as expected since he needs 30 of them. So an interesting question. So Farrell has the collect plasma beam or defeat Ridley. Which do you think he's going to do?
Well, it's a good question, Tracy. How long do you want me to talk about it? That's the real question. So it really depends on what you decide to pair. If you want to try to avoid going to Meridia, which, like, I guess long story short, if I was going to try to avoid Meridia somehow but still have to go kill Ridley, which is something I've tested before, I would only pick up Varia and try to skip gravity and all that stuff. But another thing that makes Ridley super, super slow in Dab is that the only reason people think he's free is because in most categories where they do a speed run or in rando, they show up to Ridley with tons of supers or like full beam combination or whatever, right? In Dab, you're trying to minimize your routing as much as possible, and most of the Ridley fights are going to be extremely long because you're either A, not going to pick up that many supers, or B, you're not going to pick up that many beams. And if you did pick up all those supers, well, that means you spent all that time doing it, right? So in this particular case, with all the 30 plus super missiles, depending on what else is out there, I would say you're at least somewhat more incentivized to potentially consider it.
Yeah, he's got to pick up 30 super missiles anyway. And like you say, you don't want to have to pick up those super missiles just for Ridley. But if you're already picking him up, it makes it definitely a more enticing choice.
I agree with you. Farrell is in a really tough spot here. I would be surprised if he did not have to clear this room multiple times, or if he wants to just stand here. Honestly, just standing here and farming this bug might be the best choice.
He needs to farm. He's not getting right now. He needs at least 121 to get across those spikes, and really, just in case you take that third hit, 180 would be better because it's 60 HP per hit on those spikes when he goes through the room towards bowling. He stops at 177. That's kind of interesting. Hopefully, he'll farm up a little more in here.
Yeah, I think he's banking on getting a little bit more there, and luckily he did, so he can actually take a mistake and still survive. Well, it looks like we got Dab Champion TG Derp in the chat, throwing out some shade towards these runners, saying he's pretty confident he's going to beat either one. So that's pretty cool. I like to see the trash talk.
Shout outs to Derp, who's waiting for the winner of this match. Okay, both runners doing a nice job in the bowling room, only taking 2 hits.
It's funny how they look kind of synced now, but it's like their paths are so drastically different. It's still so hard to tell.
There's so much still to be done. They got with completely different rows and columns. It's just so hard to tell.
It is. And so Farrell is forced to grab these last this last missile pack over here in the wrecked ship. Sloaters does not have to get it. Even though he's got to get 125 missiles, I wholeheartedly agree with Sloater's decision not to pick those up.
Yeah, I think
those missiles are slow. Oh, I actually like this call too. Sloaters is going to grab this this missile pack here before I believe he's going to turn around to head to that Criteria Meridia elevator, which it's interesting. I want everybody in chat to really pay attention because this hasn't showed up very much in many races. But all right, let me try to explain this. It's a little bit more complicated than people think. If you end up completing this square, number one, you're probably going to be forced to route in the energy tank before you go over, because when you get gravity, if you're doing normal new route kind of stuff, you have very low health. And people don't realize that there are actually some very dangerous creatures to the point where you would go back and reach the tube. Okay, like he could easily run into crabs or puyos or other things that could do a lot of damage, or even the fish. So most often, you're having to include an extra door transition, extra time in the current arena that he's in, getting the item, leaving again. I could go on, and then pay attention to how long this takes. This square is not hard to complete, but it is not fast at all. Like, he's about to do a lot of running around and elevator rides that just eat up a bunch of time. I say it like I've tested it. That's
and
because
they're both going for that.
This is wild. I never in a million years would think that we'd get a sync on this part of the map. This is crazy.
You're not going to see this in any other category except maybe map completion. Although I think map completion runs this part of the map the other direction. So that is pretty cool.
This is easily, in my opinion, the most bonkers moment of the tournament. I don't know how this is going to get topped, to be honest with you. This is like totally ludicrous. Looks like Sloaters took the bottom way. Looks like Farrell is trying to take the top way. And for the second race in a row, or maybe in the last 2 races, Farrell forgot where to go. There you go. There we go. Now he's through.
Yeah, and as you're pointing out in chat that it's not forced on either one of them, that they're both doing it. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's almost like it just makes it even more exponentially crazy. And if you look at Sloater's health, I know he did a few deboosts and stuff, on his own, and he just got 20 health. But a second ago, he had already lost 120 health. If he had come down here without that extra tank, he only came down with 49. So again, people can take a lot more damage down here than people realize. What's up,
Meridian enemies hurt.
They do, even against the gravity suit. It's pretty rough, man.
I don't know anyone that hasn't at least hit one of those crabs with the regular suit and not just taken a death right there.
So again, I'm not trying to, point out how right I was earlier, but like, we've been talking for a while. They're still going through all these weird rooms, and they have not even yet come close to getting out at the normal path. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if they wanted to go to Meridia, they're still not even in a position yet where they can start doing the normal Meridia stuff. It's one of the most underrated tiles, I think, in Dab. Plus, the rooms are just super awkward. Like, these rooms are never good, especially without items. They don't have high jump boots. They don't have space jump, so it's just super awkward.
Sloaters doing the reverse green gate, doing the green gate glitch, rather than going a little further. Pharaoh going down towards Norfair instead. If nothing else, Pharaoh does need to pick up that ice beam.
Well, listen, all I gotta say is I am excited right now. Sloaters, like, that's my boy right now, doing some Meridia without high jump boots. This is like, I love low percent Meridia, so this is cool to watch.
Yeah, I suspect he's going to get this E-tank by using some bomb jumping.
Excuse me, Tracy, can you give a little bit more credit to Tori, please?
Oh
boy.
Oh boy. And there it is. That Chitori really does hit hard. So hopefully Sloaters can get on this E-tank and get out of here. Probably pick up the missiles as well, but now he'll have full energy, so it won't be so scary.
There is no wrath in this world like the wrath of a mother.
Absolutely not. Okay, meanwhile, Pharaoh picked up his ice beam, which was required. We'll see where he heads to next. If he chooses to do Plasma Beam, that might be the only thing he picks up over here. Oh wait, no, he has got to pick up Speed Booster if he does that, if he's doing Column 1 like we were talking about. And he'll definitely want to pick up those high jump boots. Oh, never mind. Pharaoh's the one that has to... Yeah, sorry. Pharaoh's the one that has to skip them.
Yeah. Him grabbing these missiles... Like, look, man, sometimes it's hard for me to keep track of what everybody's doing, but surely that means he's trying to get at least 100 missiles, right?
Maybe, but he already he did Spore Spawn earlier, so maybe it's his 30th for that 3 energy tank plus 30 missiles.
Okay, yeah, maybe it's just 30. I had discounted that one and hadn't thought about it.
But he's leaving Norfair. He didn't pick up Speed Booster. Oh, he can't pick up Speed Booster because he had to pick up the Ice Beam.
So Pharaoh is, I guess, doing Column 1?
He must be doing Column 1 because he'll get Botwoon on his way to Dragon, and I suspect he'll do Plasma Beam instead of Ridley. He can get... Technically, he can get all 3 super packs here. I think he only needs 1 or 2 more.
He can only get 2. He can't get the Aqueduct ones.
With a snail clip, you can get the Aqueduct ones, but that's tricky. I don't think he's gonna need to do that.
I would bet my bank account that Pharaoh does not do that. I don't even know if Pharaoh knows how to do that, to be honest. And that's not a knock. That's just that's a piece of tech that like almost nobody uses for anything.
It's
So
pretty much using a randomizer and only. In fact, looks like Sloaters
yeah.
is going to show it off right here.
And see, Sloaters is a rando king, whereas I don't even know if Feral does randos. So I'm not surprised to see Sloaters do it. I'd be really shocked if Feral did it.
I don't think he needs to. I think he just needs one. He just needs one more pack, so he'll get the ones at the watering hole instead. I have no doubt.
Man, this is like dream come true for me. We got multiple low percent Meridias going here.
Okay, Sloater's heading for a sand pit. I guess he's here just for the missile pack. This is maybe not the missile pack I'd go for. Anytime you have to do the sand pit without spring ball and high jump, it's just a pain.
Yeah, it's a pain, but if he's got to exit, which is what I assume he's trying to do here, if he's trying to exit anyway, I mean, he's got to go through one of these rooms, so
True.
I guess I don't blame him.
Okay, Feral picking up that last super missile, so he should have his 30.
Okay, maybe that was his 30th regular pack too, because he grabbed both.
Yeah, that I don't know. It was already marked on the tracker, so I'm going to trust that Balthasar had him already at 30 missiles. As to how many missiles does Slaughters have, I have no idea. Balthasar can update us if he knows. That's the hardest thing about tracking, is trying to count those missiles.
This has been a fun match, though. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Absolutely.
Like, this is a really, really strange one where people are just all over the place doing stuff. Like, sometimes it's pretty linear depending on how the card ends up being, but this is really fun to watch.
Okay, Sloaters will be able to pick up high jump boots here. Meanwhile, Feral is going to do the ice clip to Baun. Oh, just missing the one round.
Yeah, he had a really nice beginning to that fight. Just unfortunately wasn't able to deliver the end, but it's not. He only lost a couple seconds. Botwoon's one of those fights that can get out of hand, but luckily both runners have plenty of supers, so they got a lot of lead.
And with Charge Beam, you're not going to soft lock.
Yeah, you're 100% right about that, which is a situation that can occur when you're not paying attention in randomizers.
And we're going to see an ammo kill of Dragon here, because no speed booster and no grapple beam.
Yeah, but the good news is that Feral is going into this fight with a significant amount of ammo more than he normally would in a low percent circumstance.
Yep.
So let me do the math real quick. Dragon has 6,000 health. He has 16 supers, which if he connects with all of those will do, 4,800 damage of the 6,000. So this should not take, well, he's using supers to get in the doors, but this still shouldn't take that long. Tracy, do you remember off the top of your head how much damage the pirates in the plasma room do to the gravity suit? Is it 50 straight up?
I don't know, and that's a really significant question, because he's gonna get that plasma beam, and he's gonna want to damage himself down to a crystal flash. But I don't know if it's he's gonna have to be really careful with that damage.
Yeah.
If it's 60, say, then he may not be able to use that damage. Ah, there we go. Azure bailing us out says it's 40.
Nice ice shield by Feral there. I like it. I don't know if we've seen an ice shield in a dab run yet.
That's a good question. I don't think I have. Wouldn't surprise me if it's happened, though.
He's also using pseudo screws against Dragon, which I believe most people know that does 200 damage. That is another common source of damage to Dragon in a low percent run. But you got to be careful, because if you pseudo Dragon at the wrong time, you can legitimately have Dragon die off screen and lose 18 minutes.
I believe I recall you managing to do that in a low percent.
Yes, I have the world record. I can say with authority, and that I will most likely hold on to this forever, but I have the world record in low percent ice off-screen Dragon kill, and I actually waited and completed the run. Thank you very much.
Feral picking up space jump, that'll make it easier for him to get over to that plasma beam.
Yeah, I mean, Feral, it's looking like Feral's way ahead here, because Sloaters has to
feels
go
that
kill
way.
Ridley, because Feral's very close to being done. He needs to be careful, though. Luckily for him, he's going to be going through Cack Alley, and he needs to make sure to get up to, an appropriate amount of supers for the Crystal Flash. He's got 10 missiles, but he's got plenty of power bombs, so all he's got to do is go grab Plasma, take some damage, and then take care of business.
Yeah, or Sloaters he's at 115 missiles, so he's got 2 more packs to pick up, plus he's got to go kill Ridley, like you said.
So once again, I mean, I don't think I'm going to say anything people don't understand here, but just to recap, I think this is another circumstance where you got to just understand that the true power of Dab is not in the execution, it's in the card. Feral and Sloaters have played roughly the same, in terms of execution in most areas throughout this run. But Feral's going to finish minutes faster based on, the card choice and what he decided to do with it. So, man, it's really interesting how Dab works. It really, really rewards, the picking portion of the.
Yeah, that 125 missile square is just such a powerful square. Like I said, the difference between 125 and 100 is significant. Oh, he's damaging. Oh, I like this. He's damaging with these little. What are these things called? This is the only place you see these guys in the entire game.
That's a good question.
So he's gonna go pick up that plasma beam, and then he'll go ahead and.
Those are frogs.
That's right. I forgot everything's a frog.
Yeah, I figured it was a form of a Puyo. Look at Sloaters with the gorgeous lava spark. Nice job. And then here comes the Crystal Flash. And that is the GG for Feral with an official SRL time of Telestream.
38:04. GG Feral.
That's a hot time, especially for that card. Anything under 40 is good, and in particular, that one was pretty brutal. So that officially means that sloaters27 will finish in 4th place for this tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to 3 runners left in this tournament. The next matchup will be Feral versus TG Derp. And then whoever wins that matchup will play in the grand finals of this tournament. So, man, we're getting real close to the end here.
Yeah, I don't know if I've heard of that guy that they'll be playing in the grand finals.
Well, I don't think he's that good. I just think he's gotten pretty lucky, obviously.
For those of you that don't know, it is actually Kip that is waiting for that matchup, so. Who is a very good runner in his own right. Don't let his humility there fool you.
But apparently, like, just to show you how multi-talented Sloaters is, I think if I'm picking up, like, if I'm inferencing correctly from the chat, after this, later on tonight, he'll be playing in a top 4 matchup in another tournament. I think a Rando League maybe or something.
I think the tournament. He's in the RBO tournament. You might be playing in the Rat tournament.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Actually, I think he's in the top 4 of that, and I think he plays
Yeah.
Asher tonight. So
Yep.
that'll be cool to watch.
Yeah, 2 very good randomizer runners.
I love how Farrell said unexpected good time for that card in the chat when earlier he was like, "There's no way we'll have a fast time." He played really well there. I like his
Well,
decision making.
he was right that he wasn't the fastest time, but still
Hey,
sub
Farrell, are
40.
you there? Can you
I'm
hear us?
here. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear you.
GG.
Thank you.
Yeah, GG, man. Your any percent new route skills clearly paved the way for you to do all that stuff, right? That's all you needed was your new route skills.
Yeah, and knowing where items are, which I
Help.
think was the only thing I got wrong there was not keeping track of my, because I got ice and then I completely just brain farted and forgot that I got 15 missiles in wrecked ship, and I'm like, how many do I need in Meridia? So I went down and got high jump missiles, and then
Yeah,
I
you
think I
scared me a
got-
little when you went down to that high jump area. Like, you better not be getting that.
So
Yeah.
I went down there and I thought, oh, there's an E-tank there anyway, so I'll just get it. And then I went and then I got the second super pack in Meridia, and I still wasn't 100% sure, so I got the missile pack there as well. But I guess it helped at Dragon.
Yeah, you were
Yeah, that's
starting to
good
run
part.
low on ammo, so it was good you had those extra.
And I wasn't sure if I could go down and get the power bombs in Meridia from the back door, from the Meridia criteria elevator.
No, you have
Yeah.
to
So I
hit
could-
him from the sand pit.
There was no other power bomb pack on my route that I was taking, so unfortunately I had to get criteria ones, which was a bit of a backtrack.
Real quick, I just want to point out for those still watching that Sloaters is fighting Ridley. We have not seen very many Ridley fights in Dab. It's one of the most avoided things in the tournament, so pretty cool to see it happen. But real quick, Farrell, one thing I'm interested in, in terms of your perspective is I think you made great choices in terms of what you assigned. I think you made excellent choices in terms of what you chose to do. But how often do you do that criteria Meridia elevator thing? And did it end up being a little bit, did it take longer than you anticipated? Because I'm telling you, that thing is slower than people realize.
It's very slow, yes. I forgot where to go again.
Yeah, I made a comment about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The second time I did it before, and I was going down like, I know where to go this time, and then I got there and I was like, I don't know where to go.
No.
Oh, Sloaters. Oh no!
Oh.
He wasn't quite dead. Ridley wasn't quite dead. Slaughter saying whoops in SRL, and he's officially forfeited because starting from the beginning at this point, I don't blame him at all. I know he would have wanted to finish that out, but
that's unfortunate. But to answer your question, Kit, before I forget, the reason why that is really slow going the Meridia criteria elevator, but it was the only one I looked at. There was only 2, I think, that could avoid Norfair, lower Norfair, or any Norfair really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you made the correct choice for sure.
The other one I was looking at was row 4, which means I'd have got charged. 3 reserve tanks mean I'd have had to get Norfair reserve, a Meridia reserve going down, and 5 Brinstar energy tanks meant I wouldn't have gone down the back door elevator. I'd have gone back through Brinstar.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you had a great run, man. It was very impressive, and I think Slaughter's is going to come in here in a second, but you'll be heading on to the top 3 to face TG Derp. Tell me a little bit about what you're anticipating.
Well, I came 3rd in the last Dab tournament, so I guess I'd come 3rd again this time.
Derp's already trash talking you in the chat here, so.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the way I lost to Dirt the first time, so I really need to beat him this time.
Oh wait, that was your first loss in the tournament? Was Dirt?
Yeah, I lost to Dirt.
Oh, okay. So
he was unexpectedly very good at Dab, and I didn't expect him to be so good.
Derp calling you unexpectedly good. I don't know.
I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was like he plays Dab and Rando and stuff, and
that
makes such a difference. So he's better than me at this, I'll admit that.
We're too nice. I think we need a heel. Like somebody needs to start talking some trash. I mean, like there's only 3 of us left, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I think you and Derp are both trash, and it doesn't matter who's gonna win. I'm gonna dominate either one of you that wins. So no, I'm just kidding. Everybody in the Super Metroid community is obviously very friendly, and you know, it's a fun competition.
And I predicted I'd lose to Sloaters. I think very highly of Sloaters. So.
Yeah, obviously Sloaters is a fantastic runner. Speaking of which, are you in here, Sloaters?
I am.
How are you doing, Sloaters?
GG.
GG, man. I'm doing well. That was a good row he picked for me, for sure. I like the way I routed it, although I kind of forgot about the Brinstar map station at the start.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But it was kind of an interesting one to route, to be honest. I enjoyed figuring that one out.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. Y'all both played really well. And I don't know, I guess y'all probably don't know this, but y'all produced easily the craziest moment in this tournament when y'all are both synced going to the Criteria Meridia elevator of all places. So you guys were going through all those rooms at the same time. It was excellent.
Especially since it wasn't forced on either one of you. You both chose to do it as your secondary row column.
I'll have to watch this one back.
But yeah, you routed well there.
What I like about assigning all those collection tiles is it's really hard to route, so it's really good to see how they do it. So.
Yeah, that one. I'm telling you though, that 125. The difference between I've said it a few times. The difference between
25
and 100 and the extra 25 is just huge.
Yeah, 100 missiles is nothing, but 125 is just for some reason really difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to pick up as many as I could along the way, and then when I was like starting to count as I was getting closer, towards the end, I was like, well, I'm gonna have to like, run up to the Hotarubi missiles to like get an extra pack because I literally couldn't get enough to get 125.
So real quick, Sloaters, let's get your perspective because we've talked extensively, and I'm not just saying this to to flatter you, but clearly you are an elite runner of this game across multiple normal speedrunning categories as well as rando. You're great at dab. I mean, there's nothing in this game that you're not good at. But we've talked before about how most people in a dab situation don't typically like to go down to Ridley, and you got it forced on you. And I know you were kind of at this point, the match was sort of already over. But can you just talk a little bit about, you just never know with Ridley, like he can kill anybody at any time, and just why you think a lot of people don't like to go fight him in dab in particular.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally like the deepest you can get in the planet. Like you have to go all the way into Lower Norfair, all the way to the very bottom, and it's Ridley there. And unless like you're planning on finishing down there, which I mean, there's like a finish in Ninja Pirates room tile, I think, but like other than that, there's not like a lot of opportunities to finish down there. And of course, it's just like a dangerous area in general. And usually most runners need, some type of equipment just to get down there. So like gravity suit and grab jump or like high jump boots if you're going to do a lava dive. So when you get that forced on you, at least the way I was thinking about it is I need to find stuff that sort of lets me finish and knock out a lot of those goals in Norfair. So when I got that row, I was kind of looking in the collect plasma beam or defeat Ridley, and the defeat Crocomire and Ridley tiles stuck out.
Yep.
And then combining that with the 100+ missiles, it seemed like it was those two rows seemed to have good synergy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you made a great choice. You just all that collection, man, it adds up over time. It's really hard.
I
to do
will
a dab
say
where you got to do 125.
There is so many good choices on this card. I was still debating between column 3, column 4, column 5. Like right up until like 30 seconds before I assigned a row, I was still debating which one to give.
Yeah, I was kind of between column 3 and row 4. I think row 4 probably would have been better for me to pick, just because it kind of forces like going down into Norfair to get the speed booster first and then coming back up to do some of that other stuff. Picking rows and columns for my opponents, I've learned, is not really my strong suit. but I love playing them and like getting a difficult row like that and trying to, figure out the most optimal way to do it. So I've had a lot of fun with this tournament. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and well, just congratulations again. I mean, top 4 in any Super Metroid tournament is a really, really good performance, and you gave a lot of memorable and awesome matches. And the cool thing is, like, with Dab, with it being double elimination, there really is only 4 people left. So 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. So you had a great performance. Congratulations and good luck. I know tonight you're, I think, in the SM Rat tournament, and then you're also still, I think, playing in the RBO tournament. So you still got a lot of cool stuff going on and opportunities for people to come watch you.
Oh yeah, totally. Thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Continuing those. And congrats on the finish here.
Yeah, this is a really fun race.
Well, Farrell, good luck to you in your preparation, because I know you're going to run a bunch of dab cards before you face Derp.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait.
Sure.
You're going to run a lot of 80%, right? So anyway, good luck. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun to see which one of you guys wins. And again, GG to both y'all. I love watching both y'all run. Y'all are both really cool, awesome dudes. Anybody out there, if you're not following these 2 runners, you definitely need to. They got awesome streams, fantastic Super Metroid play, and shout outs to the greatest commentator in the land, Tracy.
I don't know. I think you're pretty good too, Kip.
Well, I just let you do the heavy lifting, and then I just say some stuff. So, but thank you so much for doing it with me.
Always a pleasure, though.
Yeah, it was awesome, and I'll let you close this out. So, chat, y'all take it easy. Have a great night.
Yeah, and like you said, make sure you follow all these guys. A lot of good Super Metroid play on all their channels. But thank you to everybody. Thank you to our runners. Thank you to Kip for joining me on commentary, and especially to Balthazar for doing the tracking, and to SpeedGaming for all the setup, and Made Work Hard for setting us up. And so that will do it. And keep an eye out for Farrell versus Derp as we get to the finals of the losers bracket. Obviously, that has not been scheduled, but hopefully that'll get scheduled pretty soon. And we're getting to the end of this tournament, so kind of sad. Yeah, I know. Well, 2 or 3.
Oh yeah.
I know Kip Hope is only 2, but but 2 or 3 races left, and then that'll be it. So a little sad to see it end, but glad you're all watching. So thank you all for watching, and as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you may be.